Yo, what is going on, boys? How are you guys all doing today? I know I'm doing fucking fantastic, baby. You guys might notice a little bit of an angle change here. I'm throwing it back today. I'm throwing it back. Throwing that ass back. What I mean by that is, I used to film videos where I was standing up talking to you guys just like this. So, I haven't done that in years. Literal years. So I decided, hey, I might as well bring it back. Let's do a video where I'm standing up talking to you guys, that kind of thing. And the video itself is a very big throwback video. I did this video almost 3.5 years ago, coming up on 4. It is the top 5 worst chores known to me. I was gonna say known to man, but they're known to me. So this is my list of the top 5 worst chores that I have to do. This is chores that I have to do on like a yearly basis, you know, a weekly basis, whatever it is. These are typical chores that I always have to do. Now, when I filmed that video, I was 16 or 15 years old. Now I am 19 years old, so it's a lot different now that I'm a mature, grown, full man adult. I necessarily don't have to do these as often or, you know, like I did back then. Saying is, I was fucking work, baby. I was out there all day long doing stuff. I don't know what I'm saying. I didn't really do chores that much. I had my life pretty easy as a kid, and including now. So basically, these are not going to be any big project chores, you know, that you're doing like once every 5 years, like, oh, replacing the deck, you know, or putting in concrete somewhere. I don't, you know, these are stuff that you do either, you know, every week, every month, whatever it is. They got to get done constantly. You got to constantly go back and redo them, right? So that's my disclaimer. Also my disclaimer, roast me in the comments for how easy my life is, okay? Because I get it. Some of you guys out there might think these chores are really easy for you, and you might have a much tougher go of life than how I personally have it. And if that's the case, I mean, let me know what your worst chores are down below. And if you have it easier than me, and you think my life sucks, then wow, you have it easy. But also let me know what your worst chores are then. Alright, so to kick things off, we're going to have an honorable mention, and then we'll get into the top 5. Number 1 being the worst chore ever for me. So our honorable mention is mulching and picking up sticks. I kind of combine the two here. They kind of go hand in hand, but not really. Mulching is something my family does every year. Say hi, Shiesty. Saying hi? You saying hi, pups? Shiesty don't want to say hi. Mulching and picking up sticks is something I have to do every year. You know, my family does it every summer. When it gets warm out, that kind of thing. Pet the goobs. Anyways, why does mulching and picking up sticks suck? Well, 1, it takes forever, depending on how big your flower garden is, that kind of thing. We mulch around our entire house, so it takes a while. And, you know, we do it where you gotta shovel mulch into a wheelbarrow, pour the wheelbarrow, spread the pile. It sucks. Not a fan of it. I did landscaping for an entire summer. Worst job I've ever had, hands down. Anyways, picking up sticks is also terrible because, you know, you're bending down constantly. Oh, my back. You know what I'm saying? By the end of it, your back is hurting. You're just done. You gotta walk around your entire yard, depending on how big it is. And there's so many sticks, dude. Always. There's always so many sticks. You might think, oh, there's only gonna be a few. I only see a few. But then you always find more. So there's always more sticks. There's always more mulch piles that need to be laid. Speaking of being laid, I need to be laid. Back on topic here. Mulching, picking up sticks. Not a fun chore. Now moving into our number 5 spot. At our 5 spot, we have cleaning the bathroom. Now if you guys did watch that video from 3-4 years ago, you would know this was a little bit higher up on my list, I believe. Anyways, cleaning the bathroom, for me, it sucks. For everyone, I think it sucks. I don't think anyone actually enjoys cleaning out a pisser. Because when you go to clean the bathroom, you gotta clean the toilet, right? And that toilet, living in a house full of guys anyways, always has piss on the seat, usually has piss around the floor, and it's just never a fun time. You don't need, you know, sometimes you might even get a little turd on the seat. I hope you're not getting a little turd on the seat. But what I'm saying is, it's just disgusting. No one likes cleaning it out. The sink, just as bad. Everyone's spitting their toothpaste in it. You know, I trim my beard in it. Doesn't look like it, but I do shave. I do. And, you know, there's always hair in the sink. I got dogs, so dog hair gets everywhere. It's never a fun time. It's not terrible. It's not the worst. But the toilet, you know, it really just knocks it down this spot. But at least you get to do it inside the comfort of your own home. Unlike our number 4 spot. So coming in at number 4, I have shoveling or snow blowing the driveway. So if you live in an area where it snows, like I do, Ohio, where it's still snowing in May, fuck you, Ohio. You live in an area like Ohio, you get snow, you know, not just through November, February, but you get snow from like October to May. So Ohio doesn't know what it's doing with its weather, but most of the time you're always going to get a decent bit of snow, at least a few times a year, to where you got to shovel the driveway or snow blow your driveway, usually early in the morning, so you can get your cars out and leave, right, to wherever you need to go, whether it's work, school, you know, to your cousin's birthday party, whatever it is. If you got to go anywhere, you gotta shovel that driveway or your car's gonna get stuck, right? I personally rank shoveling the driveway at number 4 because it's cold out. It is incredibly cold out every time you do it. Because you're shoveling the driveway, there's snow on the ground. So it is 30 degrees or less, right? So it's always cold out. Your hands are usually numb by the end of it, depending on if you wear gloves or not. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know, my own fault for never wearing gloves. I get that. But even if you have gloves on, you got your boots on, you know, you got all your snow gear on, you're still cold, you still got snow blowing in your face. You know, luckily, if you have a snow blower, which we do, which is super clutch, it's not so bad. You get it done semi-quick, but by the end of it, you just don't want to be outside anymore. It's, you know, you come inside, and you're just like, oh, the warm air. You never thought you'd be so grateful for a heated house. But shoveling the driveway takes number 4 spot just because of how cold it is, and if you do have to shovel it, it takes forever, and it's a lot of physical work. It's again taxing your back. Moving on to number 3, I have raking leaves, leaf blowing leaves, whatever it is. When autumn comes around, when fall comes around, the trees die, right? The trees turn yellow and red and orange for that like 2-week period where you're like, oh my god, everything is so pretty, and then it dies. It fucking dies. So what happens when those leaves die? They fall to the ground. You gotta pick them up in your yard. You got all these big oak leaf piles everywhere. They're whatever fucking trees they are. Birchwood. I'm listing fucking Minecraft trees here. I'm not even playing Minecraft. Birch, oak, spruce, whatever trees you got in your yard, they're gonna die. Their leaves are gonna fall. You gotta rake them up, leaf blow them into a pile. And then for us, we gotta take that pile and we usually just burn our leaves into a big leaf pile. So it's, you know, it's just, you're outside, it's usually cold, you know, so you're bundled up, it's cold, you don't wanna be out there, don't be doing it. It feels like it's never gonna end. You get a pile raked up, and you're like, oh, this pile's done. And then you look in your backyard, you're like, fuck, there's 8 more piles right there. What am I going to do? It just makes you hate life, you don't enjoy it in the slightest. It's awful. Moving into the number 2 spot, this one could be very controversial. I don't even know how many people do this, but it's sweeping cobwebs from the corner of your ceilings, or like sweeping your ceilings. So you'll get a bunch of dust and cobwebs and stuff like that on your ceiling fans, in the corners of your ceiling. I bet you there's one up there right now. There is, I can actually see it. So, you know, you take your vacuum, you'll suck it all up, whatever, you'll clean off the top of your fans, get all that dust off. I hate it. I can't stand this, because whenever I do this around the house, you have to move it from one room, you know, move your vacuum from one room to the next, one room to the next. And it's, you know, the best thing about this is at least you're doing it inside the comfort of your own house. You're doing it, you know, inside where it's probably warm. So you don't have to worry about any weather interfering with this, but the dust gets in your nose, you sneeze, it just makes your face feel all stuffy and terrible. And the cobwebs, you know, you miss a whole bunch. You'll miss a bunch because you don't even see them at first glance, and then it's like, oh fuck, I gotta go get that one, you know? And so for me, number 2, it's gotta be just sweeping up cobwebs and doing the like dusting your fans and that kind of deal. And number 1, this is by far my least favorite one. Could be also a controversial pick, but number 1 for me is cleaning dishes. That includes loading a dishwasher, unloading a dishwasher, and especially doing dishes by hand. So if you're loading a dishwasher or unloading a dishwasher, it's not too bad, right? Especially if you're unloading a dishwasher, putting all your clean dishes away. Not too bad, everything's clean, you're all good, right? It only takes like 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. Not a big deal. But if you're loading a dishwasher or you're doing dishes by hand, now I'm specifically talking about doing dishes by hand, mainly when I say this, it blows. It blows. Doing the dishes by hand, you know, let's say you have a whole sink full. You haven't done dishes in a few days, a few weeks, however long it takes to fill your sink to the top of dirty dishes. That is one of the worst things known to man. When you have that whole sink full of dishes, you got to get all that old food off people's plates because you know they don't fucking just rinse it when they're done eating. You gotta get all that old crusty food off. You're touching all the dirty water. Ugh. It makes me want to gag right now. Chili water. You get all of these dirty dishes. You have to scrub them all down one by one. It feels like it's never gonna end. You feel like you're never gonna get to the bottom of that sink. It's a terrible feeling, even when you're just loading them into the dishwasher. All the dirty food on them and stuff. It is a nightmare. It is just nightmare fuel. It is terrible. So that easily takes the cake for me just because I think it's so disgusting. It's nothing hard, but I just personally think it is so disgusting every time I do it. And this is one that, you know, every person has to do all the time and a lot, and you'll have to do it throughout your entire life. It is not ideal, and there has to be a better way to do it. It is not fun. This is, hey baby, I'm sticking to that paper plate, paper fork, paper silverware, or is that plastic? Paper plates, plastic silverware lifestyle. That's what I'm sticking to. I don't care about the environment. I'm throwing that shit away when I'm done with it, so I don't have to do dishes. That's all I'm saying. Call me poor, call me weird, whatever you want to call me for not owning an actual silverware set and that kind of thing. But that's going to be me in life. Not doing any of that shit. I cannot stand the dishes in the slightest. But anyways, that concludes our list, fellas. Our top 5 worst chores right there. My personal top 5 worst chores. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, or you guys have any chores that you think are worse, or chores that you actually enjoy doing, or don't mind doing, I should say, because no one enjoys doing chores. If you have any chores you don't mind doing, or chores that you think are worse, leave them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment as well. Thumbs up, would really appreciate it. And if you subscribe, if you're new here, which 98% of you guys are new here. Yeah, I read my analytics, actually. So, those 98% of you, hit that fucking subscribe button. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. I'm dropping 2 bangers today, this one and another one. So, if you guys are ready for that, stay tuned. And I don't really know where we're going next after this, but hey, life takes you to some mysterious places, and that's the beauty of it, baby. You just enjoy the ride. You're here for a journey, here for a good time, not a long time. So just really make the most of life. Make sure you're smiling and laughing every single day. That really is the key. And be there for others. Don't be a dick.